In this video, we're going to go over some basic commands for command prompt. Command prompt is commonly referred to as CMD, which is the executable file that is installed by default in most Windows computers. For what we are talking about today, directories and folders are the same thing and files are another thing. The basic commands we're going to go over are as follows: cd cd tab filler, md for directories, rd for directories, del for files, move for files and directories, copy for files, dir, and the up and down arrow keys. The first thing you need to do is run the Windows command prompt executable file, and to do that you bring up the start menu and you type in cmd, and the first thing that's going to pop up is cmd.exe. You can click on it or hit enter and that'll bring up this, and then you're ready to go. What cd does is it brings you back a directory from the one you're currently focusing on. So right now I'm focusing on the desktop directory in this path, and if I typed in cd it would bring me back a directory to Mike, and if I typed it again it would bring me back a directory to users, and there you go. So what cd does is it brings you to a directory. So if I typed in cd and then I gave it a file path, it could bring me to whatever file path I typed in. So if I typed in c users /Mike /desktop, that is the path that I wanted to focus on, and it would focus on desktop. And there you go, it would focus on desktop just like before. But if I wanted to just type in cd and then just give a directory, that can work, but only if the directory that you type in after cd is in the current directory. So in desktop, let's say I had a folder useless, that is a folder on my desktop and it's in my desktop directory, so I typed in useless, it would focus on that directory now. So now we're going to go over the tab filler, and what the tab filler does is when you're typing in a word and you hit tab, it'll try and finish the word for you. So I'm going to go back all the way to Mike, and now I'm going to type in cd, and I'm gonna hit des, and if it was a long word and I didn't want to type it in, I would just hit tab and it'd fill in the word for me, hit enter, and now I'm focusing on desktop. And we're also gonna go over md, which is make directory, and rd, which is remove directory. So you would type in md and you would type in the directory name. So let's call it X, and it will make a directory wherever you are currently focusing on. So it will make the X directory in the desktop directory now. So mdx, and it will create directory X right on the desktop. And if I wanted to remove that directory, I could just hit rdx, and that would remove the X directory which is in the current desktop directory. And there you go, it's removed. And now we're going to go over the move command. So let's just say I made a directory called X in the desktop, and I also am going to make a file. So new text document, call it Y, and I'm going to move y.txt. So move space, and then you type in the file or directory that you want to move, and then you're gonna give the directory or the path to whatever directory you want. So I could type in X, and then it would say one file is moved, and it's now in the X directory. Or I could make let's say I made another text document. Actually, let's make a folder, md z, and I'm going to move z, move that directory to, and then I'm going to give it the file path. So c users Mike desktop X, and I'm going to move the Z directory to this path, which is the path to the X directory, which is currently on my desktop. And one directory moved, and now it's in the X directory. And we're also going to show you the dir command right now. So cdx, now I'm going to focus on the X directory, and when I type in dir, it will give me a list of all the files and directories that are currently in this directory that I get the dir from. So it will say that there's always going to be the dot and the dot directories, and it will say that for every directory that you're in. even if there are no files or directories. And you can see that y.txt is here, and it's a file because there's no dir in front of it. And you can see that there is the z directory in there, and you know that it's a directory because it says dir right there, and it also says one file, and it also says 3 directories. So that would be z and the dot and the dot dot. So the nice thing about the move command is that it moves files and directories. However, the copy command only copies files. So I'm going to create a file on the desktop called t.txt, right there, and I'm going to copy t.txt to the X directory currently in my desktop. And so you just type in copy the file that you want to copy and the directory or path to a directory that you want to copy it to. And you guys already know how to type in the path. We did that with the move z directory, and so yeah, this is the same as the move command, except it can't copy directories. So I'm going to hit enter, and it is going to say 1 files copied, and so you can see that it is still on the desktop, and it is also in the X directory right here. So I'm also going to go over how to delete that file. And again, del only works for files, and that's how you delete a file. And to delete a directory, it's rd, remember. So I'm going to del t.txt, and that will delete the t.txt file from the current directory that you're focusing on, which is the desktop. And you hit enter, and it deletes t.txt. The last thing I'm going to do is the up and down arrow keys. So I'm going to make 2 files, a.txt, and I'm going to make another one, b.txt. So I'm going to say del a.txt, and that will delete the a.txt directory, and then I'm going to do del b.txt, and I'm going to delete them both, and then I'm going to create them again. And this is going to show you how to use the up and down arrow keys to redo commands that you have previously done. So let's say now that I wanted to delete the A directory, and I didn't want to type in del a.txt, sorry, delete the a.txt file. Let's say I didn't want to type in del a.txt again. You could just hit up again, and it would go right to del a.txt. It's one of your previously called commands, and you can hit enter, and it will delete that again. It will just rerun the command because you've used up and down arrow keys to find it. And I could also do that for b.txt. Where is that? And you can just use the up and down arrow keys to find where the command is. Right away when I hit up, it went to A, and then I guess I would have to, I don't even know, go up and down and just find the command that you want to use again. And now I found that b.txt is right there, and I just hit enter, and it would delete the b.txt file on the desktop. So those are all the commands. Learn those, and then you can learn more advanced stuff later.